Ah, the evil of God. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that such a fascinating idea? God must be evil if my life is shit. What other explanation is there? There is no God. And the reason that that's terrifying, the reason that terrifies you, is because you don't know what you really are. I don't know if these points are connected, but just went for a walk and was thinking a lot about how many people do you see? How many people do you see when you go out, wherever you go? How many people do you see who are really, truly, unequivocally them? They are them. They are themselves. That's what I want to be. I want to be that. I want to be myself unequivocally at all times. I used to think that was not possible. I just wasn't thinking about it right. Of course, it's possible. That's what I want to be. Everyone should be like that. It's not easy though, because I think it requires challenging and doubting everything that you've learned so far. Firstly, it's getting rid of this whole victimization thing that you make yourself angry at the world because you blame external factors for things that have happened to you. When really and truly, it wasn't even about blame in the first place. It was just what happened and your interpretation of what happened. Unfortunately, for some reason, whatever there is, can be a plethora of reasons, but for some reason, you have been taught to look negatively at things where a failure is you dropping a level, a failure is you not achieving when you should have, when really all failure is something telling you that you got a lot to learn. So keep doing that. You got a lot to learn, as in like you got a lot to learn. That's exciting. Not you got a lot to learn looking down on you. It means you got a lot to learn. So keep going. Failure means you're not there yet. I don't know how many times have we given up trying. How many of us, I should say, how many of us have given up trying? Honestly, be honest. Don't tell anyone. Don't say it out loud. Say it in yourself. How many of us have given up trying on something or some things, multiple things even? I don't know. Maybe people are scared. Maybe people think that you can't do that anymore. Maybe people think too. I don't know. I don't know. I know you hear this all over the internet. Everyone says it, but hear me out. I'm not just saying it. Hear me out. All this stuff about how social media's fried our brains. Are any of you old enough to remember? I'm 25, going on 26. Yeah. Are any of you old enough to remember back in like Vine days, early 2010s, very late 2000s, early 2010s, where so many YouTube, there was a whole trend. And you know, back then the trend lasted ages. The trend lasted a month at least. Now there's a trend every fucking 6 hours. Yeah. But one of the trends was get off your phone, yeah. And there was these long video edits. You know, everything was long form then, so all the videos were long about how you should be getting off your phone, go and enjoy nature. This stuff's not real, and that, my opinion, I might be wrong. What the fuck do I know? But in my opinion, that was like the end. That was like the very end of people en masse in general still being consciously aware of that. Like, yeah, sure, it's affecting them, and hey, you're right, we should go into real life. Now it's like real life is like a joke. I might be wrong. I might be I might be saying this wrong, overthinking it. But what I mean is, in my honest opinion, I feel like, whereas back then, maybe I'll say it like this, whereas back then, although it was blurred and was getting more blurry, there still was a distinction between this is reality and this is something virtual, whatever that is. Everything moves slower then as well. Even Instagram, YouTube, things move slower. They didn't have reels on Instagram. Maybe that was the last time we were aware of the distinction so vividly. Still vivid. Maybe blurred a bit, but like I said, still blurred, maybe blurred a bit, but vivid. And now it's just like with everything just being everything just something every day. I mean, for God's sake, memes aren't funny anymore. Really, even if you find a really good meme, yeah, where it's just yeah, someone falling over some obnoxious sound effects, and sometimes they're clever. Yeah, sure, but like it's not. I don't know. I remember like when I was in secondary school and stuff, like memes are funny, and it was one meme every like 3 4 weeks. Yeah, like there was a meme a month, and then that was like just a joke, the class joke for that month or whatever, 2 to 4 weeks, whatever it was. Oh, it's like 16 memes like every morning. Do you know what I mean? Like and it's infinite. A friend of mine said this the other day. Like he made a good point. He was like, it's infinite. Like you cannot stop. And I swear, back in the day when I was on Facebook and I was like 13, 12, 13, if you scrolled enough Facebook, like it will be like, sorry, no more posts. I swear, or something like that. There was some app. That's not a thing anymore. There's no such thing as no more posts. You just keep going. You just keep going. Maybe now it's like this shit has evolved so much that we don't even know anymore, even though we say to ourselves every single day, and there are apps for it. There are apps to track how much you're using your phone and use your phone for better things, right? Like these, what's it, micro learning? Hey, look, I'm no scientist, yeah. I don't know shit, like I said, but micro learning. What? Micro learning. I don't know, bro. Again, like I said, I might be wrong. I don't know shit, but it's just funny. I don't know. Maybe you find out in years to come that shit's legit, but I don't know. Micro learning. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna micro learn. You have to go out and do stuff. You have to go out and do stuff. You understand? That real life out there is real. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you think. It's there. And really, I think, I think this is in general, right? But the people who really have life on lock, more than a lot of other people, are people who have been through shit where they've had to learn, really learn. School of hard knocks where they've had to learn some shit on their own, probably. And that's so many of us. But people like that, definitely, where they've just rock bottom, you know, rock bottom. And every single person who's been through something like that, and there's so many of us, will know what I mean when I say rock bottom. I think it's people like that who are so much more resilient and can therefore understand things and just take things in their stride and understand things even though it might be difficult to swallow kind of thing. I think those kind of people, they beg for, they yearn for, they say bring it on when it comes to the difficult shit in life, because they know that that's the only way that shit gets done, when you go through shit. That makes sense. What do I know? I don't know. To all the people who deep down inside feel like they just really can't be themselves for some reason or the other, just know that whatever you think and whatever you end up achieving, whether you end up being yourself in this life and achieving that, or whether you don't, it doesn't matter, because that's not true. The idea that you can't be yourself, it doesn't matter what you might think. You can go your whole life and die thinking that that's not true, and that you, in some way at least, have to be or had to be the way that other people, even if it was a few people, if it was a lot of people, wanted you to be, even if you realized it or not, which you probably did. Even if you die in that state, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you can be anything you want to be and do anything you want to do, not the opposite. That's a fact.